Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is an extra episode, and this basically we'll be talking about dinosaur record holders. So basically, these are dinosaurs that actually have a place in the record books. Basically, like their size, what kind of features are they well known for, in terms of size, and all that sorts of stuff. So let's actually get right down to it. Of basically the first category I'll actually be talking about in terms of the record holders would actually be the heaviest dinosaur, and that would be Argentinosaurus. Argentinosaurus by far is actually the heaviest dinosaur, pretty much weighing over 100 tons. So this animal is actually very large, and of course, name meaning Argentina lizard, basically from Argentina, Argentinosaurus. Now, with the smallest dinosaur, that one's still up for debate, though. We actually have small dinosaurs that we can actually consider to be the smallest. Like, there's some I've seen that say it's Compsognathus, but I don't believe that anymore. It seems like there's some that are smaller. Probably, like a Microraptor, or otherwise like a Carnivore, or otherwise some other types of those dinosaurs from the Liaoning province, basically. And the longest dinosaur would actually go for Seismosaurus, but even though there's debate of basically that could be a dinosaur that was already discovered, but basically changed the name to a certain type of Diplodocus. So this animal is actually going to be 110 feet long. So this animal is really, really long, and there are some estimates that actually go up to maybe over 130 feet. So pretty long dinosaur. Dinosaur with the longest neck, they'll actually go for Mamentosaurus. Mamentosaurus has the longest neck out of any dinosaur compared to the body size, and so a lot of sauropods have very long necks, but Mamentosaurus actually takes the cake, and basically that it's pretty much almost twice the length of other sauropods. So it's really, really long, and that's why it's actually considered to be the dinosaur with the longest neck. Dinosaur with the longest tail, that one is really up in the air. I mean, there are some that say it's Diplodocus, but others say it's Seismosaurus, so either one could actually go for there. Now, the largest carnivorous dinosaur, but even though that is really up for debate, but even though, in terms of the longest carnivorous dinosaur, that goes to Spinosaurus right here, and so you can see why. Long skull, long neck, long body right here, and long tail. That gives Spinosaurus the record of being the longest dinosaur and pretty much the largest dinosaur by far. But even though, if you want to count the sail, but it also depends on what you consider large in terms of like the largest. Is it by length? Is it by height? Or is it by mass? And so that actually counts to the fact. You see, elephants actually are considered to be the largest mammal due to the fact for its mass, and not really its height. That's why the giraffe is actually considered to be the tallest animal, and some people say, well, tall should be large. Tall should be the largest, not the mass. But even though, so far, Spinosaurus is actually the longest and pretty much the largest carnivorous dinosaur by far. Now, when we come to, say, the most powerful carnivorous dinosaur, it comes down to basically my all-time favorite, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it's basically by the muscle mass in the body and also its jaws. And you can see why. And when you actually look at the skull, you actually see here its expansion right here. A lot of muscles. So it gives that very, very powerful bite. And so Tyrannosaurus Rex would actually have the largest bite force out of any terrestrial or in another way, land animal that actually has the most powerful bite. So pretty much it has the most powerful bite out of any land animal in the history of Earth. Basically, this guy has a bite force between basically 6,000 pounds to 12,500 pounds. That is amazing. That is just basically unbelievable power, and you can see why, because of its teeth. And so when we actually look at then when we actually say dinosaur with the most teeth, that belongs to the hadrosaurs. Hadrosaurs actually have the most teeth out of any types of dinosaur family group. They can actually almost have 1,000 teeth. That is just unbelievable. And so they actually continue to replace their teeth almost throughout their life. In terms of the fastest dinosaur, that is really going to be up for debate. There's some that are actually there, but it's basically going to be an ornithomimid, basically basically the dinosaurs like Struthiomimus, Gallimimus, Ornithomimus, you name it. These dinosaurs would actually are kind of almost have the same body design as an ostrich, but basically they could actually be faster, or even faster than an ostrich. They could actually go pretty close to 45 miles per hour. And there are some estimates that maybe that Gallimimus or Struthiomimus could actually reach speeds of actually possibly 50 miles per hour. So that is really unbelievable amount of speed. But that's all based on estimating the muscles in the legs, and also the muscles in the tail, and also the body mass, though, too. Dinosaur with the largest brain, or basically the largest brain, that goes to Troodon, or the Troodontids. They have the largest brain to body size out of any types of dinosaur. So basically, they could actually be considered to be the most intelligent dinosaurs that actually have ever lived. Now, in terms of dinosaurs with the smallest brain compared to body size, a lot of people say it could be the sauropods. Sauropods have very small brains, but that goes to Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus actually has the smallest brain compared to body size, very tiny brain, and so it basically the brain could actually be pretty much like about this wide, so not very large at all. So, and when you actually look at the brain case of Stegosaurus, it's very, very small, and so that's the reason why you actually kind of go with that. Now let's actually look at some body proportions here. Dinosaur with the largest claws, that goes to Therizinosaurus. Therizinosaurus actually has the largest claws out of any dinosaur, and you can see why. It has these massive arms, and pretty much most of the weight is actually going to go to right here. So that's why it has a pop belly, large legs and the muscles, and also it has these long arms with powerful muscles. And so these dinosaurs have very powerful claws, but they're probably more likely used for gripping, try to grab tree branches to feed on the leaves of the trees. So, and there you have Therizinosaurus with the largest claws. But even though Therizinosaurus would actually go down as the weirdest dinosaurs of all time as well. Now let's actually go down to dinosaur with the largest teeth. Dinosaur with the largest teeth, that is Tyrannosaurus Rex as well. Tyrannosaurus Rex actually has the largest teeth out of any dinosaur. It's because you see, if you look at most of these teeth, they're very deeply rooted. Very deeply rooted. That's why you see the jaw of this one. This is a tooth from Stan. So basically, this is where basically the jaw will actually, this part right here will actually be protruding out of the jaw. So pretty much you actually be seeing most of this, but not this part right here where it's the root. So that's where you actually have where Tyrannosaurus Rex actually has those powerful jaws for a reason. It has to crush bones, and that's the reason why it actually has that very powerful bite. Now, dinosaurs with the smallest teeth, that actually goes probably towards maybe the stegosaurs. Stegosaurs have very small teeth, but also Camptosaurs actually have very small teeth, so do iguanodonts, and even hadrosaurs, so either one you can actually choose for those. And I would say probably the dinosaurs that live the longest in terms of like in terms of basically like how long can they live, that would probably go to the sauropods. Most sauropods, basically the really large ones, could probably live almost 100 years old, or otherwise even over 100 years old. So that kind of shows that they actually have no natural predators when they're fully grown, and that is an unbelievable characteristic. That's basically that sauropods live very long lives. Now with that I think probably with the shortest lifespan we can't really determine that. We can't really determine that because that's really going to actually come down to basically looking at the smaller dinosaurs to actually find out what actually which dinosaurs actually have very short lives. But let's actually talk about dinosaurs. The dinosaur that actually has the longest name, and that goes to Micropachycephalosaurus. It actually has the longest name out of any dinosaur, and that's pretty amazing. But even though there's debate on whether or not if it's a juvenile of a species that is already discovered, or otherwise it is its own species and could actually be just that tiny, because it's a very small dinosaur. And now you actually have this dinosaur, the shortest name, and I can't remember the name. I can't remember, but it's that newly discovered one that actually kind of almost has like those bat wings. I can't remember what it's called, but even though, just let me know in the comment section down below, and so that way I can remember it a little bit more. And pretty much those will be the dinosaurs that actually have the record holders. But if there's any other type of category that I missed, let me know in the comments section down below of this video. So that way you can actually let me know let me know what kind of dinosaurs actually have other records that I have a record that I didn't actually talk about. Because I'm only talking about a very limited amount of categories, so basically that actually kind of will shorten the video up a little bit. Alright, now that's it for this extra episode. Now tomorrow will be an answering questions episode, so if you got a question about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or always go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you can actually post your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post, but remember, keep your questions short to the point. Don't use the messenger because I can't read the questions properly that way. And also you can follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. And also take care of the people around you. And also for younger people out there, make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. Those are the best motivation you can have for good education. It's very important to have a good education, because with a good education, you get a good job in the future. All right, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.